Wow, 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 wow. I think I sound like EC3 right now, but good gravy. So tonight we had the go home show to Bound for Glory, and they're trying to set this Bound for Glory thing up to be something amazing with that TLC match they had tonight. Seriously, I just saw a lot of things tonight. So before we even get into the review, first off, I want to talk about Bound for Glory. So, Bound for Glory is set to be the biggest pay per view of the year for TNA because that's what they promote it as. Well, they haven't really built it that way. The one thing I hate about what TNA did with these New York tapings is they didn't really promote Bound for Glory that well because you got the Spike TV thing going down, you got the everything. People just criticizing them for everything, but I'm gonna get into that in a different video. Right now, we're talking TNA Impact for 10/8/2014. I meant to put the date in there, but I forgot. But that's okay. So let's start from the top. We'll get to that epic TLC match here in a little bit, but let's start from the top of the show. First, we had a video package. First, we had a video package reviewing the tag title series, what we had seen thus far, and also we had in the same video package we had Bobby Roode and his quest for the World Heavyweight Championship. So tonight, I felt like TNA should definitely be promoting Bound for Glory more than the WWE Network is promoting on Monday Night Raws, right? Because this is the biggest pay-per-view of the year. It hasn't really been built that much, but still, it's still got to be built up pretty well. It's in Japan. I don't know if this is the first time some American companies went to Japan, but for me, it's the first time I remember. So I'm gonna call it the first time. So the first segment of the show, we had Bobby Roode addressing how he feels about the World Heavyweight Championship. First off, MVP botched the crap out of Canada tonight. I don't know if you heard that, Ryan, but MVP said, I don't even know what he said. He was like Canada or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, do you speak English, bro?
I don't know how you people speak up in Canada.
It was probably I was like, come on, MVP. I don't think anyone has ever said Canada, but MVP definitely did. And also, Bobby Roode. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie White Chicks. It's been out for a while. I'm sure the majority of us have. So Bobby Roode definitely made a White Chicks reference here when he says, "So I guess you drove tonight," and he fed him the grapes. You remember he was like, "So I guess you hold the balls and he wipes the butt." It was, I was laughing like crazy because I'm like, that was definitely a White Chicks reference. That was probably the funniest thing ever right there. And then basically this set up a match between Bobby Roode versus Kenny King and MVP to see if he's going to get his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. What do you think about this little promo type of thing that led to a match later on the night, Ryan?
All right, so talking about MVP's little Canada thing, he's never really been one to have really good off the cuff one liners like that. Like I remember a few months back, he was talking to EC3, and he's like, "Okay, EC3PO," and he seemed really he seemed really proud of his joke, but it fell flat just like this one did. And I feel like he wasn't just being stupid; he was actually trying to make a joke, and it didn't work. Like it never works.
So I had to look up EC3 EC. I can't even say it anymore. ECPO. Am I wrong? Maybe. Anyway, I had to go look that up after he said that because I was a little confused because I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Had to go back and look that up and make sure I was on the right track.
Yeah, but I thought the little exposition I guess that they gave us tonight was pretty good. I just came back and I haven't watched in a while, and last time I watched, MVP was still kind of on the face side. Seems that's not the case anymore. Um, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked that the two up there got the chance to go over Bobby Lashley's head and start the match without asking him, and that created a lot of drama later on when Lashley was like, "Thank you," and came in and interrupted the match.
All right. So, well, see, I was laughing about that because obviously you didn't get to watch last week, but last week I don't know if you saw it in the video package. I can't remember if it was in there or not. But last week, basically, Bobby Lashley was about to say, "Bring it on, Bobby Roode. We're definitely about to fight this World Heavyweight Championship match in the near future, probably Bound for Glory." But MVP's like, "Nah, bruh, that ain't gonna happen." Practically. So, and Bobby Lashley wasn't feeling that. So it seems like they trying to create some dissension between what I've really called them money, power, respect, because there's really no other way to call them. They haven't coined any name for them. Some people call them Black Evolution, but I'm trying my best to stay away from WWE comparisons. But it's really hard sometimes. They've been called Black Evolution. We've seen a lot of WWE comparisons with these guys.
And it's funny that you say they're trying to create dissent because MVP was pretty adamant tonight that there was none when Bobby was talking. He's like, don't try to sow seeds in here. We're not going to break up anytime soon. And I'm like, you're full of crap, man. Of course you are.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to build that dissension probably, and you also don't know about this. If you guys don't know, the main first off before I get into that, the main thing of this review was for me to have me, a big time wrestling fan, have someone who watches sometimes, every once in a while, just whenever they kind of get a chance to, they'll watch it, and I was supposed to have somebody who never watches it. But turns out I didn't get the one that never watches it, so it's just me and the guy who sometimes watches it. That's what I'm calling him, basically. That's Ryan. Ryan, sometimes watcher.
Hi,
But
guys.
I think he tuned in at a good time though with this show. I think he really did.
Oh, this was a great episode. I really dug all the matches, even the knockout one, which usually isn't the best. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little upset because Gail Kim's not gonna get her a fair shot at Bound for Glory,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of crying a little bit inside because I think she deserves it. Because Havoc just came through and just beat the crap out of her last week, but it just doesn't make any sense because Velvet Sky gets this random shot out of nowhere. They're like, "Okay, Velvet Sky, good luck,"
I just can't.
and I'm like,
I can't stand the beautiful people. They come out and they act like they're the only ones. They're the only knockouts on the show. And it's
"That's
just
true."
makes me
I
angry.
definitely expected Angelina Love to win tonight, and then what they
Mhm.
were gonna do was kind of. I thought something was gonna happen where there's gonna be dissension between them two. I don't know. Oh, and if you didn't know, the beautiful people are working with the bromans right now too.
Oh,
So,
really? I saw that Robbie E was on The Amazing Race.
oh yeah,
I- yeah, where were the bromans tonight? Are they just not on the ticket?
I don't know. I guess they weren't because a lot of tonight felt like they were trying to build a Bound for Glory, even though it's kind of hard for them to build a Bound for Glory because it's a cross promotional thing too, and that's
Yeah.
why you see if you looked at what they said the card was for Bound for Glory, you saw a lot of Japanese people we didn't know. So a
Yeah.
lot of it's built towards the Japanese fans, not necessarily us. So that's
Mhm.
probably why we won't get a World Heavyweight Championship match, and I'm so sad. So sad. But
Oh, real bad.
speaking of that knockouts match, we had Angelina Love versus Taryn Terrell versus Madison Rain. I apologize to everyone. I know I said I was gonna make videos last week, and I really meant to about how I felt about the rest of the show. On the bright side, tonight I got my computer plugged in so it don't go dead before the review ends. So pretty much I was wondering why Velvet Sky gets a random shot at the title. I was a little bit upset, and as I said last week, or I tried to say, I kind of rushed it, but I tried to say that it was bold that TNA gave the Knockouts the main event last week. I mean, they were straight up like the main well, they weren't the main attraction, but I mean, they got the main event spot, which was like incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Last week it was Gail Kim versus Havoc in the main event.
Mm.
They were in the main event slot, so that was really I felt bold because usually what's women's wrestling for most of the fans? Oh, let me
It's
go to the
bathroom
bathroom
break.
real quick. Gotta go get some water. I gotta go warm up my food so I can eat dinner real quick, practically. No disrespect to any of the women maybe watching this show. I'm just saying that's what the majority of people think, right?
You know
I
they
mean, you
don't.
see the beautiful people come out there, you watch them shake their butt for a second, and then you leave to go get you something to eat real quick. Practically.
Yeah, because Angelina Love is just hateful in the arena. I can't even look at her face. I mean, up until she gets in there, she's cool, but then she starts like talking and being herself, and then I get tired of her.
Yeah, Angelina Love she's not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely not. Although this Terran girl, I'd never seen her before. I liked her when she came out.
Okay, so Taryn Terrell is basically what happened was Taryn Terrell was in a nice little feud with Gail Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Taryn Terrell hit her pregnancy stage of life, and she had a baby. So pretty much she had to leave for a little bit, and they tried to rekindle the Gail Kim Taryn Terrell thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically where she came back in. And now they're kind of trying to figure out who's going to face Havoc at this point. Better be Gail Kim sometime soon. It'd be Tanner's new Asian chocolate, Gail Kim. Okay, did you understand why Madison Rain won by a roll up? It didn't make any sense to me.
Honestly, I wasn't watching at that point.
Yeah, you went to the bathroom.
I think I went to get a glass of
Well,
water actually, but
well, basically the way she won was a roll up pin, and I was like, this makes no sense. Like, unless she's gonna turn heel sometime soon or something, it just doesn't make any sense. Cause
there's like no reason to win like that.
yeah, roll ups don't make any sense unless there was a roll up later in the night that made a lot of sense, but this one just didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, Havoc came out. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Havoc came out and basically choke slammed the crap out of Taryn Terrell, and yeah, Havoc's just the dominant knockout at this point. She just basically, I guess, I'm surprised they didn't do some kind of like showdown between Havoc and Velvet Sky, considering she's a number one contender. They decided against that. I don't know why. They should have been like, Velvet Sky should have been trying to punk her, and Havoc should have been even more trying to punk her. I mean, Havoc is out of control though, in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, she's out of control. So next we had a backstage segment with Money, Power, Respect, which is MVP, Kenny King, and Bobby Lashley. I love the fact that I don't know where. I guess Bobby Lashley went to the bathroom or something. He was watching Knockouts match. He said, well, it's time to go to the bathroom real quick. I guess that's what he did. And he had the belt. Like, he didn't take the belt with him. He had it sitting up like a trophy. That was probably the greatest thing I've seen in my life. I love how he did that. Brings so much validity to the belt. And basically, MVP and Kenny King says, you know what, Bobby Lashley, you better have your thank yous ready, which we mentioned earlier. And Bobby Lashley's like, you must be out your mind, bro.
Yeah, that was a good one. They walk away and he's just like, are you kidding? Who is the champion here?
I don't know if I know you've been away for a little while. I don't know if you've seen Bobby Lashley's title run. So pretty much, Bobby Lashley has been built as MVP calls him, a destroyer. He has destroyed everyone, and it's been pretty dominant. I think the most competitive match was Bobby Roode. He destroyed Eric Young. He destroyed Austin Aries. He destroyed Jeff Hardy. And he didn't destroy Bobby Roode, but he beat him. So
yeah. I think last time I was watching, EY had the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, next we had a video package, probably something you've also missed while being away, was James Storm's Revolution.
Yeah. I looked up on that. That's interesting to me. Like, he stole Sonata from his mentor and took him over. Like, what happened? Tell me what happened.
Okay, so basically what happened I was thinking basically in the future they were gonna do this since Bound for Glory was in Japan. It would make a lot of sense. They were gonna do Sonata versus the Great Muta, the Great Sonata versus the Great Muta.
Mhm.
But practically what happened is on one of the New York shows they had the Great Muta come out to the ring and he had a match. And James Storm comes out there and he was basically over the past couple of weeks before that he was like, the Great Muta is just a fraud. You need to listen to me, Sonata, basically. And the Great Muta wins his match, and James Storm comes out there and he says, basically, he says you're a fraud. Meanwhile, Sonata standing behind Great Muta because he celebrated with him after he won the match.
Mhm.
And basically, what happened was Sonata hit him in the back with a chair, which I wish they would have went a little bit of a different way. It would have been a little bit more interesting if they would have went maybe with the mist. I know the mist is the thing that Sonata not Sonata, but the Great Muta pretty much he's known for it. And
Yeah.
now you see that the Great Sonata does it.
Mhm.
Practically, it's smart for them to do this, but I was expecting maybe a Great Sonata versus Great Muta fight at Bound for Glory because it makes a lot of sense. And I don't know if you ever get a chance to, you may want to look up some of the Great Muta's old matches. If you look at Sonata, just the way he wrestles in the ring, it's
Yeah.
similar to the Great Muta. Like he's basically a mold of the Great Muta, even before he turned into the Great Sonata with James Storm.
Yeah.
So practically, James Storm's trying to take people who it seems like take people who really don't get used a lot and rebuild them. And then I think TNA is kind of pushing them a little more. Like Manic wasn't really used a lot.
Mhm.
If you lose, basically he's gonna take you. He's taking you with him. He's gonna bring you to the woodshed. Basically, I don't know if you got to see. Did they show that little promo tonight where basically there was a woodshed and he was like punking down Sonata. Sonata was all tied up and stuff. I think they showed that tonight. I can't remember,
I
but
don't. I don't think I saw that.
basically, that was the main thing. Like he would be in a shed, he would be kind of whistling. He'd turn around, Sonata would be tied up, and basically the next week we saw Sonata basically with face paint on, looking actually like the Great Muta and mimicking what the Great Muta does. But instead of the moonsault that he used to do, he does a super kick, which is what James Storm does, which
Yeah.
obviously makes logical sense too.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that match too. The
Yeah, the
one.
James Storm and Grayson Sonata versus Low Key and Tigre Uno.
Did you hear the commentators call him Tiger One?
Oh yeah, yeah. I still remember the Tiger One lay down thing. That was probably the greatest thing ever.
We got a club to go to. Lay down.
Tonight, see you haven't seen any of this either. Uh, Sonata changes face paint about every week. So he changes the color of his face paint, sometimes even the designs of his face paint. So tonight he had a red face paint on, and it went with the red mist that he had in his
Yeah.
mouth. And it was interesting. I have to go look up stuff about Great Muta because I don't know very much about Great Muta because I was pretty young when Great Muta was in the ring, so I don't really know a ton about him. Sometimes I look up pictures to see how much Sonata resembles him with the face paint and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, so he had new face paint tonight, and he also had red mist tonight. Um, you know, low key, Low Key has also came back into the fray of the X Division pretty much because TNA's been building up a lot of its older stars. Sometimes they brought in part-time people to come in and kind of just continue to build the New York tapings. The New York tapings were supposed to be like the biggest things. So basically, they brought in Low Key to continue to build on that. Um, Low Key does the little. I don't know if you saw that little wind-up kick that James Storm reversed, but
Oh
Low
yeah,
Key
that was
does that
awesome.
about every match.
I
What'd you
like
say?
that. I like that. That was
Oh
cool.
yeah, it's hot. So Low Key does that. He does the little stomp where he puts his feet on your shoulders and then he kind of like jumps up and drop kicks you. He does the move a lot and he does the wind up type of kick a lot. And I think it was smart for James to storm kick for somewhat away. Um, Did you see how low-key sold that backstabber? Like it looked like he something exploded through his back, like the way he freaking sold that. Like
Oh
basically the
yeah.
backstabber was the knees to the back, and he like
Uh-huh.
I thought he died. I thought a atomic bomb dropped or something. It was ridiculous. He was done.
There was a moment in the last match, in the ladders match, where one of the wolves, I think it was Davey, got thrown onto the barrier, the metal barrier.
Yeah.
He just locked up, like, and
Oh.
he just stopped moving, didn't even react to it. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. So basically, the backstabber got the "this is awesome" chance by the crowd. I actually thought this match was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of talent in this match. James Storm is a very underrated talent to me. Great Sonata,
Yeah.
love him from 1 to 100. I'm in love with Great Sonata. Sonata, Great Sonata, whatever you want to call him. I love him either way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tigre Uno, he messes up sometimes, but the man still puts on good work in the ring, and his finisher is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Low Key is just Low Key. He's practically the man. Like Low Key is just just ridiculous. The man is just ridiculous. The way he moves in the ring, like he just moves unlike anybody I've seen. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like he can go from like being really slow and methodical to just really fast, all in like one motion. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like James Storm a lot because I love that super kick. That super kick is the best whenever anyone does it.
Doesn't he have the best super kick in
It's
like ever?
it's
I mean, just the way it sounds is just
it's
ridiculous.
the greatest. It's always filled with so much hatred and anger, as opposed to when anyone else does it. It's just a move, but he puts so much emotion into it. It's great.
I love it, dude. His super kick just. I think he's teaching Sonata a little bit. I don't know. Maybe if you keep watching, you'll probably see Sonata do the kick, and
Yeah.
his kick looks not necessarily just as good, but it looks pretty good.
Hmm.
Like in the way it sounds, like a lot of it is a lot of keys to it is the sound. I know people make fun of wrestling because of the whole like that
Yeah.
whole thing, but I mean the sound is what makes the move a lot of times. The sound and the sell, the two S's make the move.
Oh
If it
man.
sounds good, you're gonna feel it.
Can we talk about the Samuel Shaw match when when he comes running down the lane and then Samuel Shaw sidesteps him and smacks him with that trash can lid? I was like,
Oh,
yes,
oh yeah, that was legit. Like
I lost
I,
it.
I wrote down, I was like, Shaw don't care about Bram running at him, bro. Like practically he ran at him. He said, nope. Hit him with the trash can lid. That was probably the greatest thing ever.
That was that was the best moment. And
That's
looking at
actually the next match. So we're gonna be into that in like a few seconds. Let me tell the people the ending to this one. So basically, what happened here? Sonata hits the red mist on. I think it was Low Key
yeah, it
because
was like,
it. Yeah, he hit the red mist on Low Key, followed by the last call super kick, and I feel like I'm gonna have to check on this mist thing because I never realized. Like I always thought the mist was really cool because I'm like, how in the world did they do that? And then they changed, and the Great Muta actually changes the color of his mist, which is ridiculous. Like I noticed Sonata chewing. Did you notice that tonight? Sonata was chewing on something, and I've noticed that the past couple weeks that Sonata is chewing on something to make the mist come out. I don't know if you noticed. Sometimes when he goes to the ring, it looks like he's like dipping. He's like, like
no, I didn't notice that.
well, if you get a chance to like if you keep watching, I think you may notice it. I've noticed it the last couple of times I've seen Sonata, is he'll be chewing on something, and I never noticed that from people who use the mist. I never noticed it from Tajiri. I never noticed it from the Great Muta,
Yeah,
but I mean, I've only seen the Great Muta like once, so I'd have to kind of check up on that. And it may be the cameraman being really bad because I don't know if you're really supposed to know the origins of the myth. You're just supposed to make it feel like it's
yeah.
a surprise. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So um, next we had a backstage segment with Shaw, basically saying he wants to oppress Gunner. He's like, look at these tattoos. This basically leads up to the Shaw versus Bram match that we just were talking about a couple seconds ago. I was wondering were the tattoos were they real? But then I thought about it. I said they are real because Shaw never takes his shirt off. I had just thought about that. I was like, Shaw never takes his shirt off. Like this is like the first time we've seen him take his shirt off, and it kind of mimicked Gunner a little bit. But he's always had them. We've just never seen them.
What I'm thinking, I haven't seen Shaw since Mr. Anderson put him away, and he comes out with that facial hair and those tattoos, and I'm like, dude, you're the same person. You just shifted your attention from Christie to Gunner. But
why Gunner though? Why Gunner though?
Because Gunner's got nothing to do right now. Because James Storm is dealing with Japanese people.
Also, there's this new thing. There's this new guy. He's a wounded warrior. He has an amputated leg, and
What?
he fought in war. And actually, he's on the TNA roster. If you look up, his name is Chris Melendez. He just joined the roster like maybe a month ago, maybe not even that long ago. I'm surprised we didn't see him tonight. He pretty much this was his dream. His dream was to do that. So basically, he got trained for free.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're pretty much a war hero, they're gonna just leap through hoops for you, jump through hoops and stuff for you to let you live your dream. And basically, I mean, he's not bad. I kind of wish he would actually take the leg off because I think it gives him a little more freedom. I've seen him wrestle like 2 or 3 matches maybe since he's been in TNA. So it's interesting. I think they're going to do something with Gunner and him because a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure if you guys have been watching, you remember this, but a couple of weeks ago, I'm just explaining it to him. Practically, Gunner was texting someone, and Shaw was like, "Who you texting, bro?" Practically, he was like, "Who you texting?" And,
That was thirsty.
We think it was Chris Melendez because it makes a whole lot of sense that it would be Chris Melendez, but they haven't brought them together yet. It's interesting what they're gonna do with that because right now we have Shaw being really creepy with Gunner. We have Chris Melendez, a war hero, and Gunner, a war hero. So they're gonna put them together. It's pretty much 2 plus 2 at this point. They're gonna put them together.
Yeah.
We just don't know when. We don't know what's gonna happen to Shaw. And plus, my girl Brittany want to come out and comfort Shaw. She can't be doing that. She is mine. But that's okay. That's okay. The man was hurt. I understand. Okay, Brittany, you better calm down. Okay, I'm gonna get obsessive here in a minute. But pretty much he's out there rubbing his head. They're about at the same level of creepy, I'm thinking, at this point, right? I mean, if you saw Brittany at the end, they're about at the same level of creepy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Samuel Shaw to just be like, nope, and then her to just turn around and her get into a feud with Mr. Anderson. I really want that to happen.
See, they put something in, like, I don't know what I was saying, don't it? I'm mad now. Brittany all over Shaw. I am upset. I don't even know what I'm saying. But, I mean, practically, because they tried their best to turn her lesbian for like a week. They thought about it. They said, we can't do it. They stopped it. So, practically, I don't know what they're going to do with the Brittany Shaw thing. They're both kind of creepy. We both get that vibe. So, I guess that's what they're going to do. They're going to be a creepy couple.
Yeah, but anyway, about his tattoos. He must have always had them because there's no way they're new. Because if you look at them, you can tell they're not new. So he must.
Oh yeah, I thought they were fake. See, I was like, these things are fake. I don't remember Shaw having tattoos. What is this? But then I looked up a couple of pictures of him, and I was like, wait a minute. There's a picture of him with his shirt on, with his shirt off, same tattoos. He's actually wrestled in TNA with his shirt off, but it was like way, way, way back when he debuted, like 2 years ago, I guess. So you don't really remember him, especially when you see him with the shirt on. So he's had him all along. We've just never seen him because he's had the shirt on, the long sleeve shirt on, the creepy long sleeve shirt on.
And he wears those stupid slacks and the loafers. It's so creepy.
And he has that ridiculous freaking like choke submission hold.
Yeah.
Like that I am in love with, but it's even more creepy. It's just everything just about him just keeps building. Creepier. His mom, creepy.
His bedroom. My name's
The fact
Christy.
that his mom makes him pies every day. Come on, man. Come on.
But yeah, that match was awesome. That no DQ match, I think it was.
Oh yeah, this was a no DQ match. A couple of spots I took from this one was practically the float over powerbomb through the like slew of chairs that they had set up that Shaw did.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. Bram basically won this match by a turnbuckle hook shot to surprised that they let him hit him in the head like that. But I guess they made it safe. They probably done that a couple times to kind of figure out how to make that safe. One thing, Bram is still wearing a shirt. In case you guys don't know, Bram never wears a shirt practically. He comes out in a shirt, he takes it off. Recently, I've seen Bram wear a shirt. And I'm thinking Bram is still suffering the effects from a Monsters Ball match not too long ago, which in TNA terms is like
tax
a week ago practically, because they do their tapings in bulk practically. So they do a whole like a whole month and a half worth of tapings in like a 7-day period.
Yeah.
And he went through it was a barbed wire board, and I think he drove through tax like 1 week, and then like not the next week but the week after that. So he got like ridiculous spots done to him 2 weeks in a row. I think his back is still recuperating from that. That's probably why he's wearing the shirt, because he usually doesn't. And they're also trying to cover up that these tapings weren't like a couple of days after that happened. Practically, they're trying to cover it up just a little bit, because if you see scars on the man's back from a match that we feel like happened a month ago, then you're like, what in the world? That man must have took a ridiculous spot. Like, they're trying to cover that up, basically. Yeah. And the last thing I noted of this match, my girl Brittany better back off Shaw, because I am protective. I am protective, darn it. You can't be touching that man like that. No.
She's trying to be a good friend. You gotta let her be. Just let her be.
No, Brittany. Darn it.
If you love something, let her go. That's how I see it.
So, here we had, and basically he was getting ready for his handicap match. Basically, he says, "I'm gonna kick the door in." That's about all I took from that. He's ready. He is ready. Yeah. He's ready.
Yeah.
And after that, I think we had a commercial, and then we had a backstage segment with the Wolves. Well, basically, it was Team 3D's promo. Dang on it. It was Team 3D's promo.
The Wolves come in and take it.
They just go take it. So Bully Ray is talking about how the Wolves have to be crazy to do Full Metal Mayhem. They gotta be kidding me. Well, the Wolves come in, Ric Flair, and I don't know, talking about if you gotta beat the man, if you want to beat. So if we want to beat the team, we gotta beat the team practically. So they basically letting everybody know that Ric Flair is the man, and they the man because they about to beat the men.
They the collective man. That's how it is.
They the man because they gonna beat the men. There we go. Yeah. So pretty much they letting them know. Basically, they said they want to beat 3D and the Hardys at the match they made famous, and that's how you beat the man, bro. So next we have Bobby Roode versus Kenny King and MVP. MVP probably watching this video and is mad because I didn't say his name first, but I apologize, MVP. Make sure you come back next week. But anyway, they're playing into this desire to be the champion thing. He'll do whatever it takes. He's got so much heart. He really wants to be the champion. This is the most important thing. It is life. It is life.
He tells us numerous times how important it is to him.
MVP. Yeah, he lets us know. He got a short rope for those things. Okay,
he got a short rope.
Yeah, a short rope for those things. So Kenny King and MVP started out with the numbers game, and I love how Taz made sense of something we shouldn't know, right? So basically, he tells us that the heel of the wrestling boot is the hardest part of the wrestling boot. Thank you, Taz, for making sense of that, because I would be like, that don't hurt me that much. But thank you, Taz. I appreciate it. You letting us know. So basically, Rude rolls up MVP. Like I said, I don't mind roll-ups as long as they make sense. This one made sense. The
Yeah.
underdog rolls up the 2-on-1 type of in a 2-on-1 type of match.
Yeah.
Duh, it makes sense.
Takes one
Magic
out.
Rain rolling up Terry Terrell makes me cry because it don't make sense. Okay,
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
don't. So pretty much after that, MVP got thrown out after a while. After he got involved a little bit, Kenny King called Bobby Roode with the capture suplex. He looking like Taz. Shout out to Taz. Bobby Roode is clotheslining more than JBL in this match, and Kenny King gets caught with the Roode bomb.
He does.
Basically, he's about to win this match. He's about to get that shot. Bobby Roode, Bobby Roode. That's what we're all saying,
He
right? We're
starts
all at home
clapping. He
like
starts
Bobby Roode,
clapping.
baby. I mean, the crowd was hype,
And they
right?
were hype.
Here comes Bobby freaking Lashley breaking up crap. And I'm still upset because it still didn't end up the way I thought it would. So Lashley comes in and he spears Bobby Roode. I'm expecting Lashley to say, you know what, Bobby Roode? I accept your challenge. We're doing this at Bound for Glory. No, this man gonna leave the ring. I'm upset again, okay? This is like bad. Lashley, you want to fight the man? Fight the doggone man. Forget MVP. You're just your mouthpiece. Just take the mouthpiece out and throw it. Come on, man. You can do this, man. It just makes me upset. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I want to see them make Bobby Roode the face of the company at Bound for Glory. Like we've all been predicting for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Right?
And weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. EC3.
Thank you, EC3. Yeah. Pretty much. That's EC3's whole thing. He's gonna say so. If he's gonna say something, he's gonna say it a lot of times, so you get it.
You're gonna say it a lot of times.
So, what did you think about this Bobby Roode versus MVP and Kenny King handicap match? Did you think of anything? Did you think it was okay? Did you like it? Did you even understand the wrestling boot thing? Were you confused? Because at the beginning, I was like, why he doing this? And then I was like, oh, appreciate it, Taz. Thank you, bro. Yeah. But you go ahead and give your insight.
So he walks in, the first promo of the night, walks in, and they start fighting about this thing. I haven't seen Kenny King do anything so far from what I've seen. This is the first time I've ever seen Kenny King do anything but complain. So he comes out with MVP. And they're in their little unit now, and I'm like, cool, MVP's a bad guy, like I was always expecting. So then later on they have this match, and I'm like, there's no way Bobby Roode's going to lose this match. And even if he does, they're still going to give him a title shot because this is professional wrestling, and that's what happens. I mean, nothing's ever permanent. So I had a feeling that things weren't going to go exactly as planned, but I didn't expect Bobby Lashley to come in and break it up like he did. But one of my favorite parts of the match was at the very end when Bobby Roode gets speared, and then Kenny King rolls over and starts taunting him right to his face like he did something. Comes over and is like, yeah, you can't beat us. And I'm like, dude, like you're reminding me of Magnus right now. But the match was good. I thought that Bobby Roode at the beginning wasn't handling the 2-on-2 very well, but with that roll-up, he got it back together and was able to get Kenny King pretty well with that with the Roode bomb, because he had the match won and he had it, but then he got screwed over, as wrestlers are wont to do in situations such as these.
I don't know, man. I'm just so upset because if I don't get to see Bobby Roode versus Bobby freaking Lashley this Sunday at Bound for Glory, I am going to be upset, TNA, okay? You are going to get my heart. I'm going to tweet you in 140 characters because I'm going to be upset. That's all I can use anyway, but I'm going to be upset. You're going to get a couple of tweets from me, more than one, at least, because I'm going to be upset. Okay? You better.
420 characters. That's how many we need. 420 characters with at least 15 hashtags to get my boy's point across that he's upset.
I would seriously be upset because I mean I feel like it just makes you upset that they didn't build this the way they should have.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's in Japan, but it's still the biggest pay-per-view. That just makes it even more the biggest pay-per-view. It's in another freaking country. If you have that many fans in another freaking country, then you should be building this freaking pay-per-view like it's in another freaking country. I am ranting at this point. I don't know if I've ever been this mad at TNA, but tonight I am. All right. So next we had EC3, probably my
this
favorite TNA wrestler ever,
this was my
and
favorite thing that
Spud.
happened tonight. This is the best thing that happened all night, and I lost my cool. I was so excited. As EC3 comes out and he does his thing, says the same word 1,500 times, and gets booed. He's like, Rockstar Spud, would you please come out here? No, wait. Get out here now. And Rockstar Spud walks down in his big old purple suit, comes down. He's like, stands his ground. I was proud of Spud. I was like, I've been waiting for Spud to do something manly. To get out there and stand his ground in front of the Carters. And he gets out there and he's like, sir, I told you. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. And then EC3 gets up in his face and he's like, you're a loser. And I was like, oh! But then Spud turns and he's like, I'm not a loser. And I'm like, yes! And then he did his speech. He did his, I'm not a loser. I'm Rockstar Spud. And I was like, yeah! I really want a match between them, and I really want Spud to be EC3's first defeat in TNA. I think that would be the best thing in the world.
They can't do that, dude. They built EC3 as like the man practically. If he loses to Spud, the crying will be real, dude. I mean, I love Spud, but the way they built him wouldn't make any sense. I would have to cry just a little bit.
I would love it. I've been waiting as long as I've been watching TNA. I've been wanting Spud to break out of his little servant area that he's been sitting in with the Carters. I just want him to teach EC3 a lesson and get out there and just take him out.
Yeah, I agree, man. Get out of here, McAfee, darn it. I'm trying to do a TNA review. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a fan question. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. We got a fan question.
Oh, man.
Who's your favorite TNA wrestler? I got to answer this because I don't get a lot of fan questions, and I'm really excited now. Who's your favorite TNA wrestler, Ryan? Is it Rockstar Spud?
No. All right, hold on. It would have to be either Willow or Rockstar Spud.
Oh, God. I don't know. A lot of people are really high on Bobby Roode, and I like Bobby Roode. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's got to be EC3. Like, EC3 is just, like, he's like the total package to me. People don't like the work he does in the ring, but screw you, because I love the work he does in the ring, okay? He is the man. EC3 is a Carter, and we need him. But, I mean, pretty much, I hope, and Don Morowski, I hope I pronounced your name right. I hope you're still here. I really do. If you are, comment, please. Just let me know you're still here so I can be answering your question and you won't be mad at me. But, you know, my favorite wrestler has to be EC3 because he not only I feel like he's good in the ring, but I feel like he's even better on the mic sometimes. Like, God, the funniest part of this thing was when Spud was like, Spud was like, and I know you hate it when the fans say, you can't wrestle, he disagrees. You can't wrestle, he's pretty good. Dude, last week, I didn't actually see this, but I heard this. So, EC3 was wrestling in the ring last week against EY, and he was doing, I think, an abdominal stretch. Mm-hmm. And the fans started chanting, you can't wrestle. EC3 screams, what am I doing now? EC3 is so into his character, it's not even funny. I find that to be a lot. Like, I see that a lot in TNA wrestlers. They're very into their character. Shaw is very into his character. EC3 is very into his character. I mean, if you have a character at all, you're pretty much very, very much into it.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, oh, man. But my favorite TNA wrestler would have to be probably EC3. And if you're thinking, if you want me to pick maybe a TNA original that's still there, I mean we don't have many unfortunately, but I'd have to probably pick Samoa Joe because Samoa Joe's the dude. By the way, Samoa Joe is the X Division champion. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he is the X Division champion. And I found that out via Wikipedia. So if you don't want to get your crap spoiled, don't go to Wikipedia because I found out Havoc was a knockout champion way before the time I needed to on Wikipedia. And then I found out Samoa Joe was the X Division champion on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Let me revise my earlier statement about my favorite wrestler. I like Spud and Willow a lot as characters, but as like real wrestlers, I like EY a lot. I like EC3 a whole lot, but probably Jeff Hardy because he's one of my favorites of all time.
Oh my goodness, I feel bad because you missed. I don't know if you saw it. I think they may have pushed it into a video package, but he was fighting against Bobby Roode. This dude has not Bobby Roode, but Bobby Lashley. He has this man set up with his head on the steel steps, tries to do a swanton, and takes that spot right on his back. It was ridiculous. Like my mom was watching it, and you know my mom is not a wrestling fan by any means anymore. She was just on the treadmill. I was watching it. She was like, "That man is so stupid." But bro, Jeff Hardy's the greatest of all time at taking ridiculous spots. And once this ridiculous ladder match, you will understand the means of what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate that comment. That makes me so happy that you actually took the time to comment and give me a question. I mean, I don't get a lot of live viewers, but I appreciate you giving me that question though. That was great. So practically in the EC3 Spud thing, what happened was EC3, basically, he let us know what happened, but Spud did slap EC3. That was the main thing. Spud's firing back. Spud don't care. He's a tiger. He's a gazelle.
Yeah, EC3 picking on Spud. He like pushed him on the ground and slapping him, and then Spud's like, "Nuh-uh, I'm done." And then he knocks him one, and then it's over. EC3 just gets this look, and Spud gets up in his face, and he's like, "Get at me." So I'm foreseeing a match. I'm calling it.
And then Spud got fired.
And then he got fired.
EC3 was like, "You're fired." And Spud was just kind of like, "What? You fired me? Come on, man." I really hope, this is my real hope, because I don't know how long Low Key is going to be there. And you never know with how much TNA's roster changes just year by year.
Yeah.
Please let Rockstar Spud go to the X Division. Please. I will be in love even more with the X Division than I am right now. That would be the greatest thing ever. Spud for X Division champion. Whoa. All right. So next we had another video package, basically reviewing the tag title series. Basically just reviewing. I mean, TNA does a really good job of letting the casual fans and the fans who don't really get a chance to watch all the time, they do a really good job of pushing the big things happening in TNA throughout the show. So we saw the Bobby Roode, Bobby Lashley thing. Like how caught up did you feel just by the video packages in this show?
Yeah, while I was watching it, get out of here, cat. Yeah.
Cat interruption.
While I was watching it, I was asking you questions over chat, but a lot of my questions that were about important people got answered by the show. I mean, I was asking you questions about like Kurt Angle being GM because I didn't know about that, but a lot of the big story questions I had were answered during the show about James Storm and about EC3 and Spud and about the feud between MVP Lashley and Bobby Roode. Like all the big story questions were answered. TNA TNA is really good about that recap stuff, as I've always seen. So I was pretty caught up. I'm pretty caught up to where I should be, I feel.
Man, it was great, dude. I really enjoyed it. Before we get into this last match, good gravy, man. Like TNA just does a good job of like I don't know about you guys, but I felt like every New York show, um, even the Gold Rush show, which wasn't the greatest, but every all these New York shows they had meaning to them. There was at least one big match. We had the tag title series that was kind of just strung out like throughout these whole New York shows and even this Pennsylvania show tonight. Like it was crazy, man. And let me see if I can do this real quick. I want to show you why EC3 is so mad. So I'm gonna try to put this overlay on the screen, and I hope it works. Did it work? No.
No, it just popped us
Darn
out.
it! It's not working. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if maybe I can do it. Maybe a really small.
All right, can I
I know I don't want that one.
can I just say how happy I am that they got the hexagon ring back?
Oh
I'm
yeah, go ahead.
so excited that they got that back. I'm so glad that TNA's got that identity back about being different from WWE because they were getting strongly close to just being like junior WWE, and now they're not so much anymore.
One thing I do want to say. One thing I do want to say. So I was on Facebook and I don't have a lot of friends that watch wrestling. So a lot of my friends don't even know about this YouTube channel. But like the main thing, people get so I'm gonna get into this last match. So practically what happened was MVP and Kenny would the GM, and we're gonna figure out who's gonna be the contender next week. We have, which made me again because I'm like, hey, my madness, a little more of my madness. So people compare TNA to WWE, and there was a guy today. I was going down my little Facebook news feed, and there was a guy. I don't know if he said it today, but I've seen it over at least the past week. Why is TNA copying WWE TLC? And it's making me really upset because why do we always have to go back to TNA is little WWE? I mean, like I said in my Chris Melendez video, my rant, TNA doesn't want to be have stopped watching Monday Night Raw, the biggest show of the week for WWE. So TNA doesn't want that. For you to try to compare that, bruh, that was 14 freaking years ago. Literally, 14. I mean, it really was the SummerSlam 2000. So like, oh, that's 14 years ago exactly. It was, but it's at least 14 years ago because SummerSlam's during the summer. It's now in the fall. It's just people always try their best to compare WWE to TNA or well TNA to WWE because you can't compare WWE. Oh my God, it's ridiculous to me, and I'm glad they brought back the six-sided ring too. Unfortunately, the six-sided ring hurts a little, for the superstar's health and well-being. It may not be the best, but still, I think it's take a little bit extra bruise and bump to be a little bit different. I think out of the actually like the six-sided ring, although it hurts more.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, they acknowledge it hurts more, but so they let's make a big match. So we had the Hardys versus the Wolves versus Team T, Team no, we had the hard. I'm giving the Wolves that last spot because they deserve the respect as the champions, as the current champions before this started. I don't give away. I'll go through every spot that I saw in this match, or I'm gonna go through
And
all of my
there
notes
were
for
a
this
lot
match.
of them.
I guess.
There were a lot of
Yes.
them.
Yeah, there was. My nose page off for this page. It's ridiculous.
The match was, what, 45 minutes?
So, I think it was 30
Yeah,
minutes,
it was
actually.
long.
I think it was probably about 25 minutes of actual on-TV time without the commercial.
It was.
So, first off, keep going.
Oh, no, I'm saying it was long.
You can keep going.
No, it was long.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty long. It was long, but it was good.
Oh, it was good the whole time.
If you're gonna
I kept
make it long,
one thing that kept happening.
Yeah. So
you go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, it's fine.
Oh, all right. So one thing that kept getting to me was that like someone, whoever it be, one of the six, would get thrown out of the ring at some point, or get thrown onto a table, and then they'd vanish for 10 minutes. And you wouldn't see them again. It's as if they hid under the ring for the next 10 minutes of the match, and then found a table, and then threw someone onto it. But the camera kept panning away, and then it would pan back, and somebody would just be on a table for no reason. Like, either someone set him there, or he just ended up there at some point. But people kept getting thrown through tables that really didn't need to be getting thrown through tables. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it was a little excessive, in my opinion, how many tables were broken in this match.
Yeah, this match was built to be pretty much a spot. Because anytime you see TLC, you expect a lot of spots.
Yeah.
And if you notice, the ridiculous, they play for Jeff Hardy because he always wants to do something ridiculous off a ladder. So they got these. I was kind of upset on this one because I feel like her and actually Edwards, no, Davey Rich not fighting at Bound for Glory, but I feel like they have paid their dues, not only in TNA, but they've paid their dues on the indies to amazing scenes to get mainstream wrestling company, and I feel like I was a little sad because they kind of deserve a Bound for Glory match, and I was hoping they would push Bound for Glory, but with the injury that didn't happen. I already talked about the thing that WWE did 14 years ago. If we want to compare this match, I don't know if it can compare because it was good, don't get me wrong, but the match was 14 years style, and for two, it was a different wrestling style, and it was one ever, so hard to beat the first one ever.
Yeah.
We had a Wolves, the Wolves did an through that looks really cool. I love how the chair contorted. That made it look even better. We had the Wolf setting lifting kick, up the thing where they basically lift up someone, they throw them up, and the other Wolf kicks the guy. Usually, maybe Richards that kicks him. But Bully Ray turns into 3D. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We had Matt Hardy hitting off of Bully Ray's shoulders on Matt Hardy. It was kind of like one of those tower spots where one move that leads to another move that leads to another move.
Yeah.
Then we had a random guardrail from under the ring somewhere. And basically what happened with this guardrail is powerbomb David Richards and freeze frame practically at that point. Like he looked like he was hurt. that, we had even put down the commercial break. We had Jeff Hardy doing poetry in motion. Actually, he did it one time, and then the next time he got caught with the ladder. Somebody threw the ladder at his face, or I guess the side of him, practically.
Yeah.
Then we had Jeff Hardy setting up a table, legs up. I did not think they would go through with this spot. I'm going to tell you one thing. They did not do this spot in the original match because I watched it before this show. They did not do this spot. They decided against doing this spot. Jeff freaking Hardy is ridiculous. So this man basically...
He put those legs up, and I was like, what are you going to do with those legs up?
Basically, you know that spot right there? That was the Bobby Lashley spot, except for it was a Swanton bomb on the steel steps. Yeah. And I was like, Jeff Hardy, you're the man, bro. Like, I mean, people may think you're stupid. People may think you're out of your freaking mind. People may think you shouldn't be doing this. People may think you're going to die in the next 10 years. But this man, God, Jeff Hardy is just, he's up there when it comes to doing these things, man.
He's always been like that the entire time. I've never seen a match with Jeff Hardy that wasn't completely exciting.
And people are like, why do people love Jeff Hardy so much? And I'm like, have you seen him? Have you seen the man take the ridiculous bumps he takes with no remorse? The man don't even care about life 10 years from now. He cares about life right now. This man is like a YOLO type of man right now, dude. This dude, the man's ridiculous. If we don't put Terry fucking Sabu, if we take him out of the conversation, this man is the GOAT of taking ridiculous spots and putting his body through ridiculous harm. And Mick Foley, obviously, as well.
Mick Foley,
that man is ridiculous. Next we had Jeff Hardy, again, of course. Jeff Hardy, he's on top of this huge ladder. Oh, no, this was before that. This is actually before that. This is Jeff Hardy going through. He went through a table off a leg drop when Bully moves out the way, and that was actually that flip the upside down table spot. That's what I was thinking of then. Matt Hardy does a leg drop, which we haven't since he's came back. We haven't seen him do this, but he did a leg drop off a ladder through a table on Davey Richards. We had Devon getting dumped through 2 tables on the outside of the ring. I saw those tables. I'm like, those are going to be used. I know they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then we obviously had the 2 tables that were set up for Jeff Hardy to go through later on here in a little bit.
This is the one. That's the one that gets me. We'll talk about it when we get there. Just keep going.
Okay. So we had Eddie Edwards basically got the ladder turned over on him, and I feel sorry for this man's legs because he had nothing to break his fall. He just straight up fell right on the floor. Sorry to Eddie Edwards' legs. You might have broken legs as well right now. And then I think the spot that everyone's going to be talking about is, and kind of the spot we knew Jeff Hardy would take. Jeff Hardy is basically, if you think about ridiculous spots with ladders and tables in wrestling, you're going to think of Jeff Hardy. He did the ridiculous swanton off the big ladder through a table. He did he's done so much. Like, it's ridiculous. But basically, he got the ladder turned over on him, and this was the biggest ladder they had. He had the ladder turned over on him, and he hit freaking
Bobby Roode.
Went through the table with Bully Ray. Bully Ray. That's what it was.
Yeah. Now,
all right. After all that,
now Bully Ray had no reason to be on that damn table. So Bully Ray was in the match and he was climbing the ladder and then he got thrown off the ladder at some point by someone. Doesn't matter. He left the ring probably 5 minutes before this happened. Didn't see him for 5 minutes. You're in the ring watching Jeff climb this ladder, watching the Wolves fight Jeff on this ladder. And then you turn the ladder over and you pan down to Bully Ray, who's just taking a nap on the table for no reason. It's as if he got down out of the ring, walked over to the table, and just laid on it, just for shits and giggles. I was like, there's no reason for you to be on that table other than for Jeff Hardy to fall on you. And that's probably why he was there, just to be a pad for Jeff Hardy not to get hurt.
Practically. Dude, I was watching this match on SmackDown, and it was basically a hardcore match, but WWE didn't have any tables. So, speaking of all the tables being used by TNA, practically TNA has used a ton of tables during these last batch of taping. I think they stole some of WWE's tables because all they used was chairs in that match. They used chairs in that match practically. And we saw a lot of tables being used tonight. We've seen a lot of tables be used in TNA recently, and it's been ridiculous. Practically, they have taken every table from anywhere. Like, I might go upstairs and my kitchen table be gone. That's how many tables they freaking use. Like, good gravy.
Or someone to put you through it because everyone's going through tables recently.
Yeah, my dad's gonna jump off the steps and put me through the table. So,
Gonna elbow drop.
oh man,
Don't try
what a
this at
show
home.
though! What a show!
Yeah, it
What a
was
show!
great. It was a great one to come back on.
Indeed, it was. That's actually why I wanted you to come back on it because I knew this match was gonna be ridiculous. Um, there's been some really complete shows, and I think this one was actually really complete. But there's been some shows where there's been like 3 title defenses on one show recently. So it's been crazy, man. Like a lot of the good things that came out of TNA has been because of these Spike TV negotiations. Because the main thing has been that Spike TV wasn't going to re-sign them, and people are reporting that they're not going to re-sign them, and pretty much they gave them to the rest of the year. And these New York tapings were basically to show Spike TV. We're the only reason that people watch Spike TV, bro. So you might as well re-sign us. One thing about TNA that I hate is they don't promote very well outside of Wednesday night. They promote very well during the show. But I don't think you'll ever see a TNA commercial outside of Wednesday night when you're watching TNA Impact.
You don't.
And that's really unfortunate because people are so upset about how WWE Raw is going. Just throw in a little small commercial just in there that says, TNA Wednesday nights. I mean, you might blink and it's over, but you know what I mean? Just something. Like, you gotta promote outside of Wednesday night. Like, obviously, the people who are watching Wednesday night are probably the people who watch every Wednesday night or who watch on somewhat of a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's better for them to promote outside. Like, even if you got to put an ad on at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, like, somebody's going to see it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. They gotta do better on promoting. I feel like, and guys, the review is over. If you wanna dip out, okay? The review is over. I'm just talking about a little extra here, but Bound for Glory, I'm upset a little bit just because I just don't think it was promoted very well. I know it's in Japan. People are upset that it's in Japan, which doesn't make sense. But it's. I mean, people get upset at TNA for almost everything, and I'm probably gonna end up doing a rant about this, so I don't have to carry this video on forever. I'm gonna talk about Bound for Glory a little bit more. If Ryan gets a chance, I may try to have him on a little bit more often because, as much as you guys love to hear me talk, I mean, your boy, but obviously you gotta have another voice in there. I'm gonna try to do the thing where I'm the big fan. He's sometimes he just kind of just jumped on, he kind of just started watching it a little bit and then never watched it before in his life type of thing. I'm gonna try to do that again with all 3 people, but sometimes it's a little rough because sometimes, you think you got a plan involved and it doesn't come to pass. But guys, if you want to, go on and hit the subscribe button because I love you and that y'all are my people. Without you, I would be talking to myself, okay? You know how sad that is? Or just him. When I'm alone, I will be by myself, just talking to myself. Thank you, one viewer. I appreciate you. Like, I hope this is still on. I really do. Because if you stayed on for this long, I really appreciate you. I can't even lie. This may be the best review I've done. I got a little bit more excited than I usually do, which is always a good thing. I don't want to be monotone the entire time.
You're good people, You're good people.
Yeah, you're a good person there, down there, man. So, or Lady. apologize. I don't know. I'm hoping it's Dawn because that's the only person I know that's been here. So, you know what? I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Hit that subscribe button if you want to. You can follow me on Twitter. Just find it somewhere on my channel. I'll probably just put it in the description. You can follow him on Twitter if you want to. I don't know. It's up to him. He can do whatever he wants to. It's his
Follow
life.
me on Twitter. That's cool. I don't post anything,
All
but
right.
you can follow me.
I mean, you can shout it out. Go ahead and shout it out.
It's at Bawadaboo, Bawadaboo. It'll be a
And
picture of
mine is
nachos.
a picture of Nachos. Yeah, he actually shut MVP up with his picture of Nachos. So.
MVP tweeted at me. I'm famous. I think you're mistaken though. MVP shut me up.
Yeah, pretty much. This was a good review, though. I enjoyed it. It's always nice to have someone else on. It may run a little bit longer, but you know, to have that kind of dual input type of thing, that's always nice to have. For me to not be talking to myself, and for people to actually watch, I love you, man. If you share this video, I'm gonna cry. Okay, I'm gonna cry if you share the video. Okay, I will cry and record it. No, I ain't gonna record him crying because that's just that ain't cool. I'm a G, bro. I'm a G, all right? Hit that subscribe button because if you don't, I'm going to work you, okay? I'm going to put you out, bro.
Put you in the leg lock.
Put you in the leg lock. Come on, EC3. Return to the leg lock, guys. Hey, I'll talk to you guys later, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, press that subscribe button because there's more content coming. I guarantee that. You can't believe that. Yeah. Anyway, Ryan, appreciate you being on. Say goodbye to the good people.
Thanks for having me on, man. Goodbye, people. I had fun. It was a fun time. I'm glad I got back into it.
Love you guys. Peace.